Hello everyone, it's me Clayson. I just finished watching Shogun episode 8. So after Toranaga appears that he's going to surrender, we also see that he's coughing and that he seems to be suffering when it comes to his physical health. And Mariko says that Blackthorn is no longer needed when it comes to his services, so he does not need to go to Osaka, and he's free to do whatever he wants, though he's still trying to find his crew. Though he does find one of his crew members, though, Solomon, who he finds out in town. And Solomon ultimately blames him for the crew ending up in this way, especially since the few that are left are probably not going to last much longer anyways. So he fights with Blackthorn, and Blackthorn has to knock him out. On top of that, Mariko basically gets to tell off her husband, Buntaro, in the most stoic way possible, and she actually makes him cry when she leaves the room, which that was pretty satisfying given how much of a jerk he's been to her throughout the series. And it could be a wake-up call for him as a character. But despite everything going wrong for Toranaga, his son dying, and his own physical health fading, he is not going to back down since he still has an alternate plan to get rid of Ishido and the Council of Regents. But one of his vassals is not interested in going through with the plan, and he's actually willing to stand against him, which means he's going to have to commit seppuku. And it's shown in extreme detail, just like the seppuku was last week. You see him cut his belly open, his guts spill out, Buntaro slashes off his head in one fell swoop. It's pretty brutal. And I appreciate that the show doesn't have us look away from it. We have to see every excruciating detail, and it's pretty hard to watch when it comes down to it. In the good way, though. Also, Blackthorn is apparently going with Yabushige over to Osaka, and since they're going by ship, we probably know they're going to use the cannons at some point, and they're probably going to go for a last-ditch attack on Ishido in a battle for the realm. That does seem to be Toranaga's plan here, and that seems to be what he was going for the entire time. Ishido thinks he has this whole game won, when really Toranaga was only playing along just enough to the point where he could catch him off guard. That seems to be a pretty good strategy. So yeah, it's a lot of setup work for this episode, but it seems to be a really good setup work for what could be a really great finale. I like all the maneuvering we get here. I like the fact that even Father Martin is sent off to do his own thing, considering that Toranaga knows he can't trust him fully, but he also wants to deliver a message to Osaka, and he seems like the best candidate to do so. And I love the fact that Mariko has been able to steel herself to perform her own role, which I'm sure will be great too. Also, the Taiko's widow has a stroke, and she seems like she's dead too. So with her out of the way, it seems that the Council of Regents has more free reign to do what they want. But even with Ochiba basically manipulating Ishido from the sidelines, it feels like that won't do Ishido much good, considering what's going on here. I appreciate there's all this scheming and backstabbing throughout the series, that to the point where every dialogue scene feels like everyone is essentially walking on hot coals. Like one false move could have them burn themselves, metaphorically and in some cases literally. So yeah, I'm really excited to see how the series ends. I'm really interested in seeing how everyone ends up. And I'll say, even if you saw the original Shogun series back when it first came out, I think this is an adaptation that has more than justified its own existence. So I just hope it starts as it started strong. I hope that it's able to end strong as well. See you next week.